I love how the first sentence of her video says, I didn't know whether to share this or not. Then maybe don't, okay? Maybe don't. Hey bitch, and welcome back to another Raleigh Reacts video. If you guys are new to my Raleigh Reacts videos, these are videos I make reacting to your video submissions, usually animal abuse, horse abuse, but it could really be about anything. If you guys would like to send me videos to react to, please follow us on Instagram at my business Instagram account, which is the only one. You guys know I don't have social media. My Instagram account is at Orbiting Beasts. You can also tag us in videos that you want me to see. I do try to check my Instagram on the daily. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon or members, you guys. We post horsey vlog videos and training videos over there. I really appreciate everybody who does. Additionally, all of this behind me is my fan art. If you want to stay tuned for our fan art unboxing, it's going to be at the end of today's video. Let's get into it.
I am not going to stop to wait for a horse.
You have to. It's the rules. You have to yield.
I have to yield to the horse. I don't have to wait for it to cross the bridge.
You do.
I love how he says, I have to yield for the horse, but I don't have to wait for it to cross the bridge. That's literally what yielding is. It means that you have to wait for the horse to cross the bridge or cross wherever the horse is going to be. That's what yielding means. Like, does this guy not know what yielding means? Honestly, I know that cyclists have a really bad rep, but it's for good reason. I really dislike cyclists. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who get on my case for that, but I don't care. I'm a big hater of cyclists. I just don't think bikes belong on roadways or on trail systems where other people are, especially because I know there are so many good cyclists out there, but for every good cyclist, there's always 10 bad ones, which is why most people really don't like cyclists, because there's so many annoying ones that don't obey traffic laws, that get in everybody's way, that cause problems for everybody else. One of my favorite trail systems that I used to take my horse to all the time, of course, has the standard rules that everybody has to yield to the horse, etc., including cyclists, for good reason, because a lot of horses are really scared of bicycles, because bicyclists go really, really fast and they'll come around corners. So even if your horse is actually professionally trained to not spook to bikes, people need to understand that just because they're trained for that doesn't mean that something coming around a corner really fast at a prey animal is not going to still scare them. And there were so many times where I would be with my friends, we'd be out on trail, and cyclists would just be blazing down the trail systems, going way too fast to even stop for us in time. A lot of times it would cause our horses to spook, and they were honestly just really rude and entitled. Pretty much every cyclist I've ever had any encounter with in any situation is always extremely rude and extremely entitled. So yes, this is exactly why people do not like cyclists. Most of them behave this way.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
I absolutely hate people who leave comments like what you see on this video, who say stuff like, notice everyone commenting are non-pros or don't even ride horses. Not your kid, not your problem. The kid probably rides better than you. This is a person who's so oblivious and has no idea what they're talking about. They're just defending random people on the internet. I was a lesson instructor professionally for several years of my life. Do not do this. This is such bad parenting. The kid is going to fall off and die at some point, have a serious brain injury or break its neck, and they're going to be really lucky if that doesn't happen. Not only does the kid have zero control over this horse at all, which is why one of the parents is having to walk the horse up to the actual entry gate, but also the other parent is chasing the horse with a whip as the horse is starting to run the barrel pattern. This kid is not balanced, is not riding correctly, should not be doing this at all. And these parents are putting their kid in a really, really dangerous situation. And what's going to happen when this kid falls off? The horse is going to be blamed, and they're going to say that the horse is dangerous and bad and terrible and blah, 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 and needs to be put down or sold to auction for dirt cheap and potentially end up in slaughter.
So why are you out here riding in your underwear? Looks like underwear to me. I see all your skin everywhere. What happens if you fall off?
It hurts.
Yeah, you get road burn.
Yeah.
So what do motorcycle riders do? Do they go around sleeveless and in their underwear? They wear lots of clothing, so if they hit the pavement, they got some protection. At least if they have any brains, they do that. So go put a shirt on
All right.
and come back, and I'll hold your horse.
Okay.
Besides, it's October and it's chilly out, and I have 1, 2, 3 jackets on.
Is this better?
That looks professional. It looks temperature appropriate as well.
It's also color coordinated.
I know, it's beautiful. We love it.
Yeah.
Terrific. Okay, now we're ready to ride.
Yay.
I can't believe that people are actually hating on this trainer in the comments. Literally, the top comment says, "So glad my trainers worry about my riding and not what I'm wearing." You're going to bad trainers then, because you know who's responsible for you while you're in a training session? The trainer. You know who's going to be blamed if anything happens to you in a training session? Your trainer. So if you're going to a trainer that lets you ride in inappropriate gear, you're going to somebody who doesn't care about you and is just being a yes man and taking your money. You should probably find a new trainer if your trainer lets you ride around in whatever type of clothing you want. This trainer was not even being rude, was not even being belittling or mean in any way. She was giving constructive advice and criticism to a lesson student who was putting herself at risk that she was responsible for. This trainer has probably seen some serious injuries from kids wearing short sleeves or tank tops that fall off and get dragged on the ground, or fall off and then get serious cuts or wounds from maybe hitting a rock or hitting the fence or something on the way down. Clothing allows that friction to slip off of you. It adds an additional layer of protection. This is why in my video, Everything That You Need for Riding and Leasing, I talked a lot about how you should always wear long sleeves even in the summertime for not only sun protection, but also for body protection as well, to avoid serious scrapes and tears and burns if you hit the ground. God, I just really hate people who post stuff like this. They act like they're a victim. You're the one choosing to post it on the internet. There's not a single person who's forcing you to post content on the internet. When you post content to the internet, you're opening yourself up for criticism. People criticize me every single day. When you choose to post something, you're choosing to invite that criticism into your life. So you can't then complain about it. Let's go ahead and let's criticize this for everything that was in here anyway, because I do find a lot of discrepancies with what she was posting. First of all, the very first scene is just her letting the horse stretch. I mean, you're not even really doing anything. So obviously people are going to be like, oh, good rider or whatever, because you're allowing a horse to stretch out. But the actual videos of her riding are terrible. If you're posting bad videos of your riding to the internet, and you're riding this horse behind the vertical, it's clearly not ready to be doing the things that you're teaching it to do. It's off balance, and it's not even controlling itself in any way at all. The hindquarters, the shoulders, any of that. I mean, the biomechanics of this horse are just totally out of whack, and she's asking this horse to do things that he's not even ready for. So of course, if you're posting content like that, people are going to say that you're a bad rider. Especially, I understand that everybody has bad days. Training never looks glamorous. There's always instances that look bad that people will criticize, and that's okay. Just don't post it. People who want to cry and say, people call me abusive. Listen, one thing that I've never been called ever in my life is abusive to my horses. So if somebody is saying that you're abusing a horse in one instance or another, chances are you probably actually are, and you're just in denial about that, because a lot of professional riders have normalized really, really bad riding habits and behaviors that are abusive, and they just say people are being haters for it. No, people are not being haters for you riding behind vertical intentionally. This is totally 100% her fault. This is exactly why I tell people all the time to not separate babies from their parents for at least 6 months to a year, and to then put them in herds where they can still be disciplined, live like a normal horse. When you take babies away from their moms at a very young age, like before 6 months, this is what you start to see. And I can guarantee you that this baby was taken away from its mom before 6 months of age because this lady wants to imprint on the foal, which is why she's not only taking it away from the mom, but she's keeping it in social isolation, which is not normal for a baby or any horse to live in social isolation since they're herd animals. And then they wonder why these babies end up with serious problems. Firstly, imprinting is total crap. Do not listen to anybody who says that you need to take babies away for imprinting, so that way they end up better or they end up liking people more. Every single horse that I've ever seen that someone took away from a herd or its mom for imprinting is the worst behaved horse of all the horses. This woman was given so many clear signs and indicators that this baby is not only uncomfortable, but doesn't really want her around. And she is not listening to any of its signs or cues at all. Instead, this woman thinks that I'm just imprinting and I'm going to make this foal love me, and I'm going to sit in an awkward position while he's giving me very clear signs that he doesn't want me touching him and force an interaction between us. Guess what? Now you're teaching this baby that he's higher than you and that he can do what he wants and he doesn't have to listen to you. It's not the horse's fault that he behaves this way. This person has put the horse in this situation and completely socially isolated it. I guarantee you the horse would not behave this way if it was still living with its mom or living in a herd with other horses. It looks like he's stuck. It doesn't look like he's tied there. I see a lot of people who tie their horses to the inside of the trailer and let them pull back and freak out, which obviously is just flooding. It's not actual training, and it's lazy and it's stupid, and that's not how you teach horses to go in trailers. It's also extremely dangerous, but it looks like her horse got stuck. And you know what? That's actually a really good video to post because it shows why you should always stay calm. If your horse gets stuck, the horse will react based off of your reaction. They might freak out for a second or two, but if you remain calm and you can talk to your horse in a calm manner, like what she did, then you're more likely to de-escalate the situation. This is one of the things that every equestrian should learn is de-escalation. You never want to escalate any sort of dangerous situation by you panicking or by you screaming or freaking out. You always want to de-escalate. And I think she did a good job of that. You know, her horse freaked out for a couple of seconds. It looked like the lead rope or the halter got stuck on something, and she was able to keep the horse calm while she was able to undo it. And if you notice, the horse stopped pulling.
Pain is not trainable. This is a story about Moonshine. She's a Percheron quarter-horse draft cross. I originally bought her as a restart project, hoping to eventually ride her on trails in the backcountry. Throughout her training process, I noticed that her progression appeared to go generally well for a while before hitting major setbacks, which were connected to intense blow-up behaviors like bolting, kicking, and bucking. They would not only intensify, but also appeared physically uncontrollable to Moonshine. I started to sense underlying health issues rather than dealing with plain problem behaviors. I've dealt with PSSM in horses before, and some of her behaviors reminded me of how broad the spectrum of muscle myopathies in horses can be. We connected with Etalon Equine Genetics to get Moonshine's DNA tested for possible health risks and factors that might contribute to her, so to speak, behavior problems.
Yes, I am so glad that she posted a video like this. I wish that more trainers would do more research on horse health problems, because the thing is, guys, horses cannot speak to us. They do communicate with us, but it's nonverbal. And a lot of people, when they see horse communication, if it's some sort of bucking, kicking, rearing, biting, whatever, they automatically assume that the horse is bad, or that this is a behavioral problem or a behavioral flaw or a lack of training, when a lot of times that isn't the case. I can't tell you how many horses that I've seen over the years that have bucking issues or biting issues because somebody's constantly pinching them when they cinch up the girth, or because someone has a saddle that doesn't fit and their back is actually extremely sore or damaged as a result of it. So every time someone puts a saddle on or sits on their back, they have extreme nerve sensitivity. Even just recently, when I was doing in-hand groundwork with Raleigh, I started noticing serious behavioral problems where she would just bolt or start kicking or something just completely at random. And we ended up having her teeth looked at, because I was like, well, she has a halter on her face. What else could it possibly be? I don't know what's going on. And sure enough, she had broken one of the largest molars in her mouth, and it was infected and disgusting. And she had to go in for a 3-hour surgery at the equine hospital to have everything cleaned out, stitched up, removed, etc. And that's a perfect example of your horse trying to communicate with you that something is wrong with them. And could you imagine how bad you would feel if in that moment you disciplined your horse for that? Say, for example, instead of me being confused, I took a whip and I started hitting Raleigh. Not that I would ever do that, but a lot of trainers would. Clinton Anderson. They would immediately say, oh, this horse is being bad on lead, and I'm going to smack this horse around, make it run in circles around me. Well, instead, maybe you should take a step back and analyze to see if there's any health problems. Now, obviously, if there's no health problems and it does end up being a behavioral issue, you should correct those behavioral problems. It wouldn't be okay for your horse to behave this way every day on a lead. Although I don't recommend physical discipline, there's way better ways to go about disciplining a horse. And I do agree that you should not let behaviors like that slide. But the whole point is, a lot of people are quick to judgment, and they're quick to say that my horse's attitude problems are related to behavior when it could easily be related to something health related, and you're disciplining them for trying to tell you that they're in pain.
Like a safety hazard, I just don't want you guys to come to, just because, like, don't confuse the horses. Just because, just in case the horses like use the restroom or something, or like, you know, something happens, I just don't want anybody to get frustrated, like if their car runs over.
Oh, so you don't want us to utilize our recognized mode of transportation because you're worried about whether or not
That's all
we're a customer. What are we?
Yeah, no, I know, but
are you the manager? Are you the manager? Are you making that call for the corporation?
Yes, that's
Is that your story and you're going to stick to it?
policy.
Because Nathan was a manager over on Buck Owens Boulevard, and he tried that with me several years ago.
Okay.
This lady is such a Karen. Just like how I find it's irresponsible for cyclists to be riding their bicycles everywhere and getting into everybody's way. I feel the same thing about horses. I don't think people should be riding horses on roadways. We don't live in the 19th century anymore. That horse is not your main mode of transportation. A lot of people ride horses through drive-thrus for attention, and a lot of store policies have started discontinuing that. Why? Because a lot of these people let their horses poop in the drive-thru. These people don't have rakes. They don't have a way to clean up the horse manure. And also, you're putting other customers who are in cars at risk because horses freak out. They back up. They kick things. I've seen horses kick cars in drive-thrus. It happens. If someone tells you, hey, I don't want you riding your horse here, this is private property, because it is. It's a business. It's a private business. They have the right to refuse service to anybody. Oh my God. Tell me that you don't know anything about riding without telling me. This, honestly, I'm not even gonna hate on barrel racers for this one, because this is not even a barrel racer. This is someone who's completely and utterly incompetent, okay? This woman's not even looking. She's not even looking where she's going on the horse and just runs the horse right into the barrel. Like, look at her face, you guys. She's not even looking where she's going, and she just runs the horse right into the barrel. Somebody like this should not be riding horses. This is one of the biggest problems with barrel racing, is the fact that a lot of barrel racers, since there's no barrier to entry, they don't take riding lessons. If you're a barrel racer, please take riding lessons, because somebody like this has never taken a riding lesson ever before in her life. And then she's also like not wearing a helmet. Just so many careless things that are happening here.
Uma música insistente despertou meu sono.
Yeah, I mean, this is just awful. I don't even need to explain this. This horse is suffering. People post videos like this all the time because they act like they deserve a pat on their back. Oh, look at this animal that only has 3 legs that's starving and suffering and is going to die at some point. You can see how messed up his other legs are, trying to overcompensate for the fact that he only has 3 legs. And even if this horse had a prosthetic, we've been over several times how prosthetics don't work, because most prosthetics still do not allow the horse the freedom of movement that they would have with all 4 of their legs. Additionally, all horses that have prosthetic legs end up overcompensating on the other remaining legs that they have, which causes further joint and hoof deterioration. So no, prosthetics should not be a thing. We should not be putting prosthetics on horses. They do not live the same quality of life. It's extremely selfish. You're only doing it to make you feel better. You're not doing it for the well-being of the animal. But furthermore, something like this is just someone who wants a pat on their back. They want people to say, "Oh, wow, look at this person that really cares about this foal." No, actually, you don't care about the foal. You're doing this for attention so people will think that you're a good person, when you're actually the exact opposite. You're making an animal suffer. This is prolonged suffering of an animal. I don't understand this. Is this like Western riders trying to diss English riders for being better riders? Actually caring about their horse's health and conformation? We have found through multiple studies that using a riding block takes the weight and pressure off your horse's back when you're mounting. So people who care about their horse's back and conformation use mounting blocks. Even Western riders know this. There's tons of Western riders that use mounting blocks now as well, because it protects your horse's back. So I don't really understand like what type of diss this is, if this is even a diss. Like, it's actually low-key kind of embarrassing for anybody to post this video thinking, got him. Oh my God, I'm actually in shock a little bit. It says dressage championships over in the UAE for Arabian horses. Why is the UAE so notorious for being bad riders and bad equestrians? Like, I don't think I've seen a single person over in the UAE that can actually ride without abusing a horse or being a bad rider. Every single one of these riders looks terrible. I don't even have to explain it, you guys. They all look so bad. Why? What is going on here? Why are all of you guys the worst riders in the world? Like, do none of you guys care about horse conformation or health or anything? I love how they're all giving each other trophies and shit at the end, as if that wasn't abysmal and just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life. Arabian horses can do dressage, and they don't look like that. So this has nothing to do with breed conformation or anything. These are just bad riders. Like, these people have no idea what they're doing, and they just threw their own little horse show to make them feel better, I guess. What other reason would this be for?
We lost a dog today under anaesthetic doing a dental. It was so incredibly heartbreaking. Imagine calling the owners to tell them the news. It's so uncommon. This dog was almost 12, had a grade 5 heart murmur. And of course, I don't want to do a dental on this dog, but this dog had a rotten tooth. The dog was suffering. It was in pain. I don't regret it. We have to look after our pets and bring them comfort. But this is why we go on and on about dental prevention. This is why in the puppy consults now, we're telling you to brush your dog's teeth. We're getting you to chew. We want them to eat good food. It's not to sell you products. I'm so passionate about this. I wish all pets out there had a really good dental prevention strategy. So I'm not put in a position when they're 12 years old with a grade 5 heart murmur, removing a rotten tooth. It's absolutely heartbreaking. No one enjoys this process. The pet owners are devastated. It's just not nice for everyone. Please be proactive about preventative dental health. It's so important for our pets.
Sorry, I had to eat, you guys. I've been filming for like an hour at this point and I'm starving, okay? I'm pregnant. I'm hungry. I want some food. I'm so glad I checked the comments though. And everyone in the comments is like, this is so unbelievably insensitive and unprofessional. Yeah, it is. To the point where it's shocking that she would post this. I hate this idea that a lot of vets tend to believe that dental prevention has to do with brushing your dog's teeth every day, which is just not really the case. I mean, we know that a lot of dental prevention has to do with diet and genetics. There's plenty of dog breeds that are more susceptible to dental problems than others. Additionally, another factor is age. This dog was 12 years old. It could have also been that dental deterioration was just natural at that dog's age. That's another entirely likely possibility. I love how the first sentence of her video says, "I didn't know whether to share this or not." Then maybe don't, okay? Maybe don't. I'm not saying this vet is a bad person, but just, Jesus, dude, like, have a little bit of self-awareness. These people just lost their dog and you're kind of like low-key blaming them on the internet. I didn't want to put this 12-year-old dog under anesthesia because it had a heart murmur just for a dental cleaning. Then why did you? If an animal has a high likelihood of dying under anesthesia, and you're putting them under anesthesia, you're going to tell the owners that there's a high likelihood the animal could die. But if the alternative is your animal's in serious pain, so you either put them under anesthesia, hope the surgery works out, or you put them down, then, you know, a lot of people are going to choose the surgery. I'm not hating on her for doing the surgery on a dog, as long as the owners were aware of the potential negative outcome of their dog actually dying as a result of this. I don't know. I think this video is so tone deaf and just so wrong in general and very unprofessional. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's Raleigh Reacts video. If you want to tag us or DM us any video submissions, send it over there on our Instagram at Orbiting Beasts. Otherwise, stay tuned for after the credits to watch our fan art unboxing. Bye, guys. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and let's get into a fan art unboxing. Remember, if you want to send me any fan art, the address is in the description down below. Also, I wanted to let everybody know my background is so much bigger than just what you see right here. So please keep sending me your fan art because I'm actually building out my whole wall. Okay, first one. Hey Raleigh, I love your videos. I've learned so much from you. Here's a Minecraft version of Link. I hope you love it. Ooh, oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Wow, look at this. Oh my God. I love this so much. This is so cool. I wish I knew who this was from. They didn't put a name on here or anything, like no return. Well, whoever you are, comment who you are in the comments so that way I can thank you. But thank you so much for this. I love it. Next one. All things beautiful are yours to fulfill your way. Congratulations on your upcoming baby. Your family is blessed. Braylee and Link are beautiful as always. Sincerely, Susie Stone. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Look, Susie did a portrait. It looks like a watercolor of a zebra. Look at how pretty that is. Wow. Thank you, Susie. Oh my God, that's gonna look so cool contrasting on the wall. Thank you so much. Okay guys, I know this was brief, but the Raleigh Reacts video was so long. Thank you so much to everybody who stuck with us throughout these videos. I am looking to do more Raleigh Reacts videos, hopefully one a week, and make it a longer format podcast style video that's between 30 minutes and an hour. So you guys can start looking forward to those, but otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to check out Orbiting Beasts on Instagram, you guys. We're trying to grow the Instagram account right now. And we're also launching all of my digital collage art, which is available every single week. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.